Whenever I'm looking after a horse at the equine care clinic, we approach it within a framework that I call the 4 R's. So that's recognise, respond, review, renew. You need to recognise what's going on. You need to respond in the right way at the right time with the right gear. You need to review what's going on, and you might do those first 3 steps several times. And then you need to work into the renew phase, and this is where I find a lot of people just kind of give up. They've spent all this time in the first 3 stages and then they give up on the renew. And this is where you get your horse back to his top functionality, the optimum that he's going to achieve post-injury or post-illness. So it's really, really important that you follow those 4 phases. We're going to have a little look at that and how it applies in each of the emergency situations. The next thing we need to think about is what are the top 4 things that cause our horse to become injured, ill? What are the top 4 causes of horse death? So in the United States, they did a longitudinal study over almost a decade of nearly 2,000 horse properties with over 3 horses per property. So we're looking at almost 6,000 horses. And they found that the top horse death cause is old age. So that means we're doing something right out there as horse owners. That's terrific. Second highest cause of death for horses was colic. The third was wounds, trauma, injury. And the 4th was lameness. So in this short talk, what we're going to focus on is those 3 key areas. So obviously, when your horse gets injured, you need to be prepared ahead of time. It's not that you want to get out there, look out the window, see your horse is caught in the fence and run across a paddock in your pyjamas and your gumboots like I did when I was young. That's not actually the way to do it. So you want to be prepared. Take your first aid kit with you. Take your phone with you. Make sure you have contact numbers in your phone so that you are prepared. Take your own pulse. Just take a moment. Breathe. Okay? When we're in a resus room, we often say to the new junior staff, could you just take your own pulse? And they're standing there going like this and saying, why am I taking my own pulse? And it's really because we want them to take that moment just to get their head together, because it's our natural instinct to just run and fly. Now, when you do that when it's a horse, you've got 500 odd kilos of animal that is frightened and likely to injure you very badly. And if you get injured, you are going to become the priority for rescuers, not your horse. So it's critically important. What are you going to take? You're going to take your first aid kit, you're going to take your halter and lead rope, you are going to take also some wire cutters or something to cut them out of the fence if that's what they're in, if they happen to be caught. Any of those things. I always like to try and remember my trusty helmet. If you've got a colicking horse and they're throwing around, you can easily get a foot in the head before too long. So really important to think safety first, your safety and those around you, before you go rushing in to save your favourite pony. Understand that some things are really easy to recognise and very obvious, like the horse that's caught in a fence or the horse that happens to have got itself through bars like this. That's really obvious, or even the horse that's throwing itself on the ground and colicking. But some things are much more subtle. So do you know the early signs of colic? Can you identify your horse is in pain? In fact, a recent study showed that 50% of horse owners and a large percentage of even horse professionals could not recognise when horses were suffering pain, because they're kind of stoic and they try and hide it, because otherwise they're going to be the one eaten by the lion. So really important to understand and be able to recognise those subtle signs. So how do you recognise those subtle signs? Well, you have to know what's normal for your horse. So what does that mean? So if we look at Danny here, she is looking nice and calm, she's happy, she's eating, she doesn't look like she's breathing too fast. But what would breathing too fast be for Danny? And you need to know your horse's vital signs. So if you don't know how to take your horse's vital signs or what's normal and what the normal ranges are, then it's probably time that you got that information, because it can be super handy to be calling your vet and saying, okay, my horse she's got a heart rate of 52, she's got a respiratory or a breathing rate of 28. That's not normal for her. She's off her feed, she's just not right. So most people ring up and say, my horse is this and I don't know what to do, oh my God. But we don't want to do that. We want to be calm. We want to give our vets enough information to be able to tell them how soon they need to get out.